Record. I'm
Hi, good
sharing.
evening, Shisha.
Good evening, Samshakar. Sharing my screen. Yeah, today also we'll see some real-time scenarios that I have shared on the WhatsApp group. The first one is say uh, sending the logs of the pipelines to the SQL table. Finally, so what will go to the SQL table first, SQL database first, set up a table there first, and then we'll come to data factory to send the logs to that table. Fine. So what database do we have? We have ARSQL DB1 query editor. Okay. So in order to this, what we do is from data factory itself. Uh, The logs are basically found in the system variables. I'll show you where we find system variables. So from there, we create a stored procedure on SQL database, and from data factory itself, we use the stored procedure to take those values and put it on SQL table. So here we'll create one stored procedure also. Since we have not gone through SQL, I'll just explain the stored procedure. But again, we'll learn stored procedures and SQL queries from beginning from scratch later. So don't just taking time to log in. It says allow IP. It is IP address of our system. So we can say I allow and then okay. Then it will get logged in. So what tables do we have? Sales data, EMP1, nice, stored procedures. We don't have any. Fine. So I have this code. I'll share this on the same group also. I am creating a table. I'll show you what code this is to create a table. So I am creating a table named TBL underscore ADF pipeline execution. It has four fields or four columns. Say ADF name means data name of the data factory, pipeline name, trigger name, run ID, and trigger time. These values will pick it up from the pipeline and write it to this table basically. That is a requirement. So I'm just creating this table for once. So it got created. Then I'll say select and see whether the table is created or not. There won't be any data in this because we did not put any data in this. Okay, so the result is just it's a blank table. Okay, ADF name, pipeline name, trigger name, run ID, and trigger time. Fine. Now we'll create a stored procedure. For that, I have the code. I'll explain the code. See. Okay, so we are creating a stored procedure. We will have these parameters basically. Okay, so we are creating the parameter so that we'll take these values. What does this stored procedure do is take these values from the ADF pipeline run. Then it will put into this uh, table, the ADF pipeline execution table. See, here it is reading the values, ADF name, pipeline name, trigger name, run ID, trigger time. So and it will read from there and begin, and it insert the same values to these values. Same, we are the variables also are the same names, and the see, insert into ADF pipeline values. It will put these values, ADF name, pipeline name, trigger name, run ID, trigger time, into this thing. Okay, we'll just create it, then I'll show you again what is happening. Run. So here if you check, the stored procedure is created. It will show you stored procedure also. This is system stored procedures. We'll say refresh stored procedures. Yeah, see here you can see view definition. So it got created. You can see what it is doing. Basically, it has created a stored procedure db.usp ADF pipeline execution with these data types: ADF name, with this field ADF name, pipeline name, trigger name, run ID, and it will insert with these values, same ADF name, pipeline name. These values will go from ADF to the stored procedure. Stored procedure will pick the values and put it on the table. As simple as that. Fine. So I'll share this in the group, and but we'll learn again SQL and these from basic. Then it will not be an issue for us. Just a second. Okay, so now we'll go to our data factory pipelines. So we'll create a pipeline. So now it is such that we will this can be attached at the end of any pipeline so that it will send the pipeline details to the table, right? So for example purpose, I'll create a wait activity, just a wait activity, nothing else in the pipeline. So consider this as a pipeline. So end of the pipeline, I'll add a stored procedure activity which will take these values to the table. Fine. So wait, I have defined as 10 seconds. Then after this, there is something called a stored procedure activity. So I'll add a stored procedure activity which will run after this. And here in stored procedure activity, I have to first select the link service which is pointing at that SQLDB. So this is the link service, I guess. We'll see what is there. Edit. Yes, it is pointing at the ARSQLDB, right? So this is link service. Now, if I refresh, it will fetch all the SP stored procedures from that SQLDB and show it here. On dropdown, you can see this. So since there is only one stored procedure, you can select this. Okay, after selection, you can import so that this data factory, what it will do, it already has access to the stored procedure, right? Whatever parameters are there, it will import from there so that we can send the values from here, right? So these are all the values, parameters that are there on the stored procedure. So ADF name, pipeline name, run ID, trigger name, trigger time. So we have to send the values. Where do we get the values of this pipeline run? So you click on this value. We have something again, add dynamic content, which we already use. So in this, we go to system variables. In system variables, you have everything. Data factory name. You select this and say, okay, the data factory name would be picked up while a pipeline is running and it will send. So pipeline name, you click here, add dynamic content, go to system variables and select pipeline name. We have pipeline name also. Then run ID. Add this, go to system variables. It's a pipeline run ID. This is pipeline group ID. If it is grouped under a folder or something, we don't need that as of now. We'll go to pipeline run ID. Okay, then trigger name. We have the same thing on system variables. Pipeline trigger name. Same way trigger type we have. We have pipeline trigger type also. Trigger time. Sorry, pipeline trigger time. So these values are picked up. These are actually system variables only. So the values from them are picked up and passed into the parameters. So if you just publish and run, okay, if I say debug, this is running for 10 seconds, right? We programmed the wait for 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds, it will move to the next activity. So this is also done. Now when we go to our table, we should see some values in our table. Select star from TBR underscore ADF pipeline execution, right? We will run this only. Now we are able to see one entry. Archer ADF1 pipeline name is pipeline 22, trigger name is sandbox. It is giving sandbox because we are running from a debug, right? We did not trigger it. We click the debug thing. So it is giving sandbox here. So there is some run ID, there is trigger time, what time it was triggered and all. Fine. So these values are coming there. If you trigger again, you will get another entry there inserted into that table. Running it again, we'll see. So this stored procedure with these values, it can be attached at the end of any pipeline so that it will take all the pipeline details to the SQL table. Let it run. Okay, we'll come here, run the select query again, see what are in the table. So we have two entries. We have these are same ADF name, pipeline name, and are same. We have the difference in the run end and trigger time. Right. So this is how you send log pipelines, logging pipeline details to SQL table. Okay. So that is our first real case scenario, real time scenario. Then we have processing of fixed length text files using data flows. We'll use that. So I have a text file fixed length.txt. So if you see here, uh, okay, I'll upload this and I'll open in the storage account itself so that it is more legible there. Okay, storage account. So where is this file actually? I have on my desktop. Nice. Archana Asset 22 containers, input data. So I'm uploading this file, desktop. It's an upload. Right. So if I see these contents of the file here, edit. So I have so fixed length file is nothing but uh yeah, I'll oh, wait to view zoom in. So these are the file, right? So there are actually one, two, three, four column values. Okay, there are four columns. Like we have the same in the CSV files. Basically, in CSV files, the values are separated by commas. So whenever anything is parsing the file, it understands that the value, there is a difference between one value and another value, which are separated by comma. So here there is no comma. This is a text file. So there is no comma. The only advantage is it's of these column values are of fixed length. Okay. So here the yeah, whatever it is, say it is an EMP ID. EMP ID is given for uh, three spaces or say three characters. After that, this name of the employee is given. How many characters will count it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10. Right. So name has 10 characters, and after that location has 2 characters, and after that this mobile number has 10 characters. Okay, so whatever the name is, if the name is less than 10 characters, the others will be filled up by spaces. So the data is in this format. If the data is coming like this when the values are of fixed length, how do we process it? Using data flows. That is a requirement. Fine. So we'll go to data flows, create a new data flow. So we'll add a source for that file, fixed file. We need to create a new data set, ADLS gen 2. You can, it is not allowing to select binary here. You can select CSV file and select that file only. It will allow and it will recognize, not an issue. Storage account 1, input data, fixedlen.txt. Right. Okay. Okay. So we'll come to data preview. So we did not turn on the debug mode. Okay, it will take some time now. Before that, let it take time. We'll create the next step. There is something called derived column. We have already seen this activity. We'll use the same to uh, understand this also, to act on this also. So there is only one column, right? So, mm, yeah, so here, hello. Okay, if you derived column, we can say source one description, column 1, we after this column, we go to expression and we have something called substring. The first line is selected as header. So that's why it is showing me this. I think I can change this in the discard changes in the data set. Wait, data set open first row as header. I am unticking it so that it is not considered as header. Fine, I'll go back to this, then come to derived column. Then we'll go here. We'll just start doing it. So first is we have something called substring. Okay, substring. What our inputs it is taking is it will take the name of the string. What string has to be acted upon. Then uh, it will the index will start from one or position of from where it will start and the number of characters we have to give. That part of that string it will pick it up. Okay, so here substring is input schema. The first one, then form one of base index starting at one. The first one we have three characters for first column, that is employee ID, right? So 1 and 3 will save finish. We'll give its name as emp id. Okay, so we'll add another column, add column. This one you can name it as empname name, sorry, empname name. The same thing, we'll use the same expression substring only. bstring. So the first thing is input schema. We'll select this. Then the second one is from fourth character, we have to count 10 characters. Right. Save and finish. Add another column. Next is location. Location here in substring. Substring will start from 14 are done, no? So location here the input schema, first input schema is this value. Then 14 are done. You start with 15 and two values, two characters, two characters. Save and finish. This debug is done. We'll come back and again check from beginning. So another column, say this is contact number, right? The same thing for this also substring of first one is input schema. Then first is 3, then it is 10, 13, then it is to 15. We should start from 16 and set 10 characters, right? Save and finish. Since it is done, we'll go back. See what is my projection, column name, detect data type, import projection. Data preview is taking time. So there is only one column. Okay, it is showing us only one column. Fine. Go to data preview, see what the data is. It is showing only one column because it is I think one string only, right? This whole it is one character only. From that only we are extracting each substring, right? So that is fine. So this is how it looks. But I think it is not taking the spaces. The spaces were there. I don't see any spaces between these. Now, okay, I'll say projection, reset, data preview, I'll say refresh. I don't want to import any schema, then we'll see what it will show now. Uh, uh, uh. The spaces between this is not right. Optimize string format, source string. Right, we'll go to this one. We'll see what is the data preview at the end of this. Yeah, so we got it, but there is some issue. This is fine. This is Rajesh's bank. Then we have something called P9, N8, and S5. P9. Okay, their number starting from 10 and 13. It should start from 14 and take 2, right? So I did some mistake. So I gave 15 and 2. It should be 14 and 2. Then it will take correctly. It was my mistake. So now it has picked up correctly. Employee ID, employee name, location, and contact, right? But I don't want this entry. I mean, I don't want this column. For this, you can add a select transformation, and you can take this off, remove this off, go to data preview, refresh. Then to write this as a CSV file, you will add sync here. So come down, add sync. So you can create a new data set, write it as a CSV file. So to the same folder, you can write it output data. So we'll create a new folder here with output name so that it will not get output 22032025. Not giving any name here. Let's publish and run. Okay, here also I'll remove this first row as header so that, okay, cancel. Wait. We'll put this first row header only because we have named the columns, right? It should be that way only. So this is data flow 6. We'll create a pipeline. Here we use data flow activity, which will point at data flow 6. There are no parameters. Come back here, say debug. Mm. Okay, we'll check the output folder for our file. Output data, output 22, we got our CSV, edit. So we got it, but see preview. Yeah, we got it right? So this is how we process fixed length text files into our say CSV files or JSON file. Only thing is it'll add the spaces also. into this spaces also into the characters only. So it'll occupy all the 10 characters, 10 spaces. Only that is the issue. That should not be an issue. We can process it later. Fine. So now that is our second real-time scenario. So after that, we'll see about SCD 1 and 2. Slowly changing dimension, type 1, type 2. We'll look at that. I'll need an Excel for this. Ruko, Excel. So, oh, fine. Okay. So consider SCD type 1. First, we'll see what is SCD type 1. We'll see what is SCD and all. So first, consider we have, yes, somebody is asking something or, okay, fine. When you say SCD type 1, consider we have these records coming into our pipeline. I'll say EMP ID, heading of this EMP name. Then we have gender. Then we have country, right? So then we have here 1001, 1002, say 1003. We have Rocky, then Rambo, then bingo. Male, male, female. US, US, India. So this is the records that are coming. Say there are employee records that are coming into our pipeline. So say we have already have some records in our DB. Say we have this record. So this record is coming as Rocky 1. So we have this record in our database. This is coming into your pipeline for updation, a new record in this date, and this is already in my SQL DB. Say SQL DB. Right. Under SCD type 1, what happens is when I am getting this record, what I'll do is whatever the records are not present on SQL DB, I mean what are new employees, those will get inserted normally, right? 1002 and 1003 are normally coming in, so they'll get inserted into SQL DB. And what this will happen is, since 1001 is already existing, it will get updated. The existing record on the SQL DB will get updated based on the employee ID, whichever is the primary key, it will get updated, and a new one will be there available for us. So the old values would not be available for us. That this happens under SCD type 1. SCD is nothing but slowly changing dimension. Whenever the data is changing, what are the rules that are to be applied, that is defined under this, right? So if I am getting, so what is happening actually here? If I am getting new values, those values are getting inserted. If I am getting changes to the old records, those are getting updated. But here it is not maintaining any kind of old record data. Fine. So after when I'm updating this, we don't have any old record. What was the value before Rocky 1? We don't know that. Right. So that is what uh, that is what happening in SCD type 1. So we have to implement this pipeline. So we'll be having existing SQL DB with one record. We'll be getting these three records as input. We'll write to this SQL DB and see that the existing one should be updated and the two of the next record should be uh, inserted. So for that we'll build a pipeline. For that we would need an, we'll go to our SQL DB again. SQL database, here SQL DB1, query editor. Okay, login. So we'll create a table. Okay, create a SQL table. Okay, come on. Array again, huh? Why did it get failed? Okay, so what tables do we have? EMP, EMP, MP. I'll create an employee table here with these four columns. I have some code. So I'll modify this. So I don't need any surrogate key. I just need this employee ID, employee name, gender, country. That's it. Right. So we'll go back. This is done. This is done. Right. So not null is fine. Create. I'll say EMP. That's it. Create table EMP such that this is done. So I'll just run this. The table will be created. So we'll say select star from EMP. So, so there are no entries in this. So I just wanted to create one entry in this so that uh, okay, insert into EMP values. So 1001. This should be Rocky male US. So I am only entering this one entry into this. Then I'll run again this to see whatever has happened. So we got one record into this 1001 Rocky name this. So fine. Okay, now I have my where go to I have to insert these records, right? Where is this my Excel sheet? Yeah, I have to I'll be sending these records where the first row is 1001 record is there is an issue with the there's an updation in the employee name and the other two records are new. So I have to insert this. I have a file already created for this. I'll just upload to my storage account again. Storage account, Archana 22, containers, input data. So upload employee REC employee record. I have this. We'll check the data also in this. Employee rec.csv. Edit. Review. So 1001. Employee name we have updation, gender, country, employee one, Rambo. This is all is good, right? So we will try to send this. We'll go to this. Then we have to create a data flow. It can be only happen with the data flow. So we are creating a data flow. Old ones I'm just closing them off. Created a data set. Azure data like Gen 2. These are all simple one. Daily we are doing this. Storage account 1. Input data. emprec.csv. Yes. Yes. Okay. Fine, we can see in the projection employee ID, it is coming in string value. Fine, not an issue because uh, we are writing SQL table, right? Why don't we take in it as an integer value? Not an issue. Data preview, refresh. So these are the values that have to be inserted. So for inserter, we have this called alter row transformation, right? We already discussed this. So alter row conditions, it is from source one only. What has to be? I am saying it should upsert. If the entry is, I mean, the record is updating, it should update. If the record is new, it will get inserted. So this upsert means old ones will be updated and then new ones will be inserted. That is a condition here. Upsert if condition if it is matching, that's all. 1001, you can say in condition, you can say 1001 is condition when it is true. That's what it says. So go to data preview, see refresh. When you say 1 double equal to 1, it is just matching everything. That's it. So okay, so we got this upsert symbol here, so everything will be upserted, right? We have to add the sync. So a sync is my SQL table, right? Just now we have created. So we'll create a data Azure SQL database. Where is this? Azure SQL database. We have a link service SQL DB1 already created. We'll see the table name will be populated here, which is our EMP. Just EMP and say okay. Okay, then in this, what we have to do is go to settings and we have to say allow upsert here based on key column EMP ID, right? So, based on EMP ID, it should check what is new and what is old and it should upsert. And we'll go to mapping so that we can map them. So here we need to map them. This is the input columns, this is the output columns. EMP ID is going to EMP ID, EMP name to name, gender to gender, this. So output column, okay. In SQL table also our EMP ID is in character only. So here what I will do is here source also in projection I'll change it to string only. Okay, got me. Okay, so then again I can go here and see that now the error is gone because employee ID is coming as string only and writing as string only. So now the error has gone. Previously the error was there. It was saying matching between these. Right now I'll go to data preview of sync and I'll see refresh. Right. So I'll publish this. Looks good. Create a pipeline. Create a data flow activity. This should basically point the latest data flow 7. Compute says say medium just so that it will take lesser time. Parameters, we'll debug this, let it run and we'll go to SQL table and see if the records have been updated or not after this run. Now we'll check our database, SQL database. Our database is this. Come on, query data. emp just run. So it got updated, right? See, first record was just only one record previously. It got updated to 1001 Rocky 1 male US. Then two new records got inserted. So STD type 1 worked. So it is simple file. Nothing is there in STD type 1. Simply we are adding this alter row. In this, we are giving as upsert if, and we are saying if a matching, the condition is just matching condition. That's it, right? So it is happening. So the main complication comes when we are trying to implement SCD type 2. First, we'll understand what is SCD type 2, right? We'll go to Excel, our Excel. So, the same way again, here again, what do we have? 101, employee name, Rocky, gender male, country, US. So, this is the existing record in the SQLDB to SQLDB. This is the incoming records, right? So, for SCD type 2, what happens is, basically, previously we did not save any previous transactions or previous records. So SCD type 2, we want to save the previous records. Even if this 1001 value is getting updated, we want the old record. This as it is, I want to save this, and again, I want a new one where it says 1001 Rocky 1 Mail US. So for this, what we'll do is we'll have an extra column which says is active. So the old record normally will have value as active value. Whenever we are sending this data here, these two data will come like this only, no issue, because these are new records, right? These will get recorded and we'll say these are active only because newly recorded. So here the old record is there, no? So this is getting updated. So what it will do is this old record should become is active as false, and we'll get this record inserted as a new one and which says this is active is true. So what record is valid now? The 1001 record with is active one is a valid record here. So that should happen basically in SCD type 2. Old records have to be maintained. They should not be get overwritten or updated. There should be a new record which says with an is active flag, so that we have both the values, both the records of old also and new also, and we'll understand how that data has changed throughout the time. Okay, and this is only one kind of, and when you are maintaining this, since you have multiple values in EMPID, this cannot become a primary key. So for that case, we have something called a surrogate key. We have already understood what is surrogate key transformation in data flows, right? It will get just a serial numbers automatically. The same way we will have a surrogate key for this, which will be somewhere some serial number of this primary key number. Okay, so yeah, so this is one method of maintaining old records with an is active flag. There can be other methods also where let's see, it would be like this. For example, there would not be no is active flag, but there would be something like valid from and valid to dates. Here, first time when this record is there, no, some old value would be there when the record has created, some like 0101 1999, and value 2 this got changed, no. So today, this validity of this record will be ended. Here, the value would become 2025, right? So these are two records. These validity would be control C. Array, so these values will be here only, like this only, and value 2 would be say infinity or today's date, and it will not be today's date. It will be blank, or say it will have some values called current. Okay, so that it will say that it is valid, or else we'll have a valid to value, which is a say for next 50 years or 60 years, a value would be there, so that whichever valid to that value is there, we can understand that that is a current record. Okay, whenever this data is coming, that should get updated like this, where it will have valid from valid to. So we are not going to discuss this format in this SCD type 2 in data factory. We will build this while we are doing our PySpark and Databricks. There we'll implement this. For now, in data factory, we are gonna implement this with the is active flag, right? So now we understood what is gonna happen when you're getting one updation records and two insert records, right? The old one would it should become an is active 0. The two new records should be get updated or inserted and become is active 1 because they are new records and they are valid. And the old updation record should get inserted and it also should be get an is active 1, right? So that is the process, that is the logic, that is a data flow we are gonna build, right? We'll go back to our data factory. This is done, so close this, come to data flows, create a new data flow. So here source is our source file only as usual, emprec I have created, no, that is my source file. But I have to create a new database here which has all this, right? For that I have this code ready, copy. So I am creating another table. I'll say the name as emp underscore type 2, right? This is type 2 which has surrogate key, employee ID, employee name, gender, country, and is active. So I'll create this table, run. So table is created. We'll just see whatever is there in the table. Select star from emp underscore type 2. So if you run this, there is no output, there is entry. So now we'll put a value in this table also. So insert into emp underscore type 2 values bracket start. What are the values? Surrogate key, you don't have to give the value into surrogate key. It will automatically populate the surrogate key value. So we have to give it from employee ID. Employee ID would be 1001. So basically it is the same employee, existing employee, which has name Rocky. Rocky, then employee gender, then we have male, close, then we have country, which is US, same thing, and we have is active bit as 1, right? So I am inserting this value into this. Yes, go to again, we'll select and see this run. So is active, when we give 1 is active, it is shown as true, right? So this is a value that is in this existing SQL table. Now we have to bring the input and implement the data factory data flow for STD type 2. So my source is same like previous STD type 1 only thing is the logic would change. Gen 2 CSV, here same link service, here emprec file, right? Input data emprec. Okay. Okay, we'll go to projection. Uh, uh, we'll say detect data types so that, okay. So this is a record. This does not have any is active as it is, and right, it will not have is active from the source itself. That should be processed while we are building the data flow pipeline, right? So we'll go to data preview, see what the it's coming or not. Add column, first we have to add column is active column because all these records are new only. So for this we have something called derived column, right? So we'll add an activity called derived column, we know this. So the new column is active column and the expression would be, I can give 1 but I'll say 2 boolean function, and I'll say 1, convert the 1 to boolean, so it will convert it as true or whatever is needed, right? Go to data preview, see the refresh, see the data here. We have added the is active column for all the records. So since everything is coming new, whether it is updation or insertion, it will be is active only. So we have added this by default, right? So now these should go to our sync table. So we'll add our sync table. So we have our data set, right? We can use that data set actually. Azure SQL table 6. We'll just check. So here it is not basically EMP. It is our EMP underscore type 2. So I'm selecting this table. Right. Then it is good. Employee table. Go to mapping. At least one incoming column is mapped to a column. We'll say auto mapping. We'll see employee ID. It got a string up. We'll go back to this again. We'll see this is projection. It is taken as string. I'll take this as string only and come back here. Come to sync. See the data preview. It is no issues. Employee ID. So I am not able to see the is active flag. I'll see data preview and refresh and I'll see wait. So where is my is active flag? Because derived column had this is active flag. Sync Azure data table 6. This is derived column mapping, auto mapping, data preview. Go to settings. I'll say allow insert only. Settings, disable auto mapping, but it is not fetching the output columns from my SQL table because it should have the surrogate key also, right? So what I'll do is I'll remove this sync, create a new data set so that data will be fetched from my table. I don't want to take a risk. ADLS, no Azure SQL database. Same link service I can use. Here, select the right table, employee type 2. Okay. Okay, go to data preview, refresh. Once refresh, I'll see. Yeah, wait. Then go to settings. Allow insert is good. Go to mapping. Remove auto mapping. Surrogate key, I don't want to map. So I'm deleting this completely. This employee ID, go to employee ID, employee name, gender, country, is active is nice. In settings, I don't give, I have to give the key value also because it is direct insert. It has nothing to compare. I'll go to data preview, I'll refresh it again. I'll see what are all the values that are going. Now this is good. 1001 Rocky gender country is active is good. So whenever this is inserted there, surrogate key will automatically get created. So this half of the work is done here till now. Okay, so these are the new records that will get inserted. Only thing is I have to find out what is the old record that is there, which should match to 1001, and I should convert the is active to false, and I have that I have to do, right. So I have to compare. So what I'll do now, I'll add a new source. Here my source is the same as my sink. So I'll take the Azure SQL table as my source again. Azure SQL table 7. It is my EMP type 2 table. Change. Okay. Azure SQL table. Where is my 7? Array, yeah, wait. Here my sink is there, no? Sink. Shit. No. SQL database. SQL DB1. Employee type 2. Okay. All I have to check again. Settings. Allow insert mapping. Mapping is good. Employee ID and all. Surrogate key is not there. Data preview. Refresh once again. So I'll publish once again. Now I'll take it to the next step. Yeah, what is this one? Sync, sync, Azure SQL table 7. Okay. So here I want to add source as my same sync one only. I'll have add source. I'll have Azure SQL table 6, 7, 7, 7, 7. Open. This is an EMP2 only, no, right? So table 7. Go to data preview. I'll just see what is coming from my source. Here, source is SQL table, right? Here I should see only one record, that 1001 Rocky with surrogate key under LC. Okay, surrogate key 1001 Rocky mail US is active. This is the record on my SQL table, right? Now I have to do what I have to do is I have to look up these values in this my source. I have to look up these SQL table values from this, and I have to change this value to whatever values are there in this thing, my source. I have to change the same values to is active to false. Right. So that is my issue. So first, what I'll do is with before lookup means join or lookup. I'll have the same column names, right? To avoid the confusion, I'll rename my column names on this from this source. What for that, I'll add an select transformation to rename my column names here. Okay, so what I'll rename this as SQL underscore see SQL underscore SQL underscore SQL underscore SQL underscore SQL underscore. Okay, so this is my go to data preview and see I should get my columns with new names, all the same columns but with new names, right? So this is done. Now I have to add an lookup activity here, and here I want my primary stream to be the source one, right? So here I set a source one, and lookup stream would be my select one. Okay, now I have to compare between employee ID and SQL employee ID. That's what I have to compare, right? Then I'll go to data preview. I'll see refresh. So it got matched. My employee ID, this is my source, right? This 1001 value, all these are matched to this one, the value in this SQL table, right? So it got looked up. Whenever I am using lookup activity, what it will do is on the left table, it will get all the values, and on the right table, it will give the matching values. That's why I have taken this source as my left table on lookup activity, and the new whatever I have created our select and all database as my write activity. So here I have created lookup activity. While creating it, I just selected source one as my primary stream, lookup stream as this. Right. So just take care on that. You'll just confuse there only, or else everything is easier after that. So now will I will filter because I want only this row. I don't want these two rows because I want only this row, and this row I have to change the values. For this, I'll add a filter activity. In filter activity, I don't want the null values, right? I don't want whatever is null values. I don't want. I want only this. So in filter activity, I'll say expression builder, uh, which say where is not is null of input schema SQL EMP ID, wherever SQL EMP ID is not null, wherever SQL ID is not null. Okay, I'll see what is coming in my data preview. Refresh. So I have filtered the null values. I put the expression as is null. Not is null means is not null of SQL. Wherever it is not null, I want the SQL EMP ID, right? So I got those values only. Now I don't want all these values because these are all repeated EMP ID, SQL EMP ID. I have to cut it down now. I want only SQL columns. Okay, I don't want this these columns, right? So I'll add a select transformation here again. I don't want this employee ID, employee name, gender, country. I don't want. I just want these SQL values because I have to update these whole entry. I want to update it, right? So it all this should be there. Surrogate key, employee, all this should also be there, right? So now, what's left? I have to change this SQL is active value to 0. Right. I have selected this column, right? I have selected this row, right? Now I have to change the is active value to 0. Then I can update the same thing on my SQL table. Right. As simple as that. Here I'll select again derived column. Derived column. I'll select this column as SQL is active. Again, here put a expression as 2 boolean of 0. So it will become an false value. Right. Go to data preview, see my data, whatever it is there. So this whole thing, this whole row has to be updated there. Okay. Okay, just a second. So derived column I have this. So now I'll add an alter row transformation here. This will go back alter row transformation to update the record on the SQL table. So alter row transformation in alter row transformation, what I should alter row conditions I want to update if this condition is when it is matching, nothing else. 1001, 1 double equal to 1, and on what basis it should match? It should say update only. Here you say refresh. That column will say update. On sync, I have to change the settings. So this should get updated. We got this update symbol here. Now I'll add the sync. My sync is same again 7, but my settings would change. Go to settings, say allow update on key value. What key value should I select? Not EMP ID. I have to select on a surrogate key because I'll have multiple EMP IDs there. 1001, 1002, so many will be there because past record so many will be there. No, primary value would be surrogate key which is being created. So I have to match with surrogate key and I have to update the same one. Right. I have update the surrogate key. Then see mapping. I don't think mapping is required. Data preview. Say refresh. Yeah. Sync to the result has zero output columns. Okay, we'll see mapping. Auto mapping. This is surrogate key. This is EMP ID. This is EMP name. This is gender. Now country. Is active, right? Now data preview, then say refresh. Okay, so this record has to be updated. Now it is match surrogate key 100 Rocky male US. This will be updated. Uh, so alter row one. Uh, this will be updated, but just a second. This would be updated with. I should take the value as Rocky 1, right? Not Rocky, right? Okay, just a second. Okay, no, I have to update just the exact value. Oh, this is a old record. I'm getting confused. The new record will get inserted. This would be updated with the exact value. That's it. This old value should only be updated. Fine. Okay. So you click on the canvas here, not on any of these things. This will get take you to the parameters. On side of that, there is something called settings. So here it is asking for which sync has to be executed first. Right. So I want my sync 2 to be executed first and sync 1 to be executed later, because first the update should be done and then insert should be done, or else it will there will be a confusion between whenever it is getting updated. So I just wanted to update the record first and then insert the record. So I put the sync 2 as 1 and sync 1 as 2 priority, right order it is asking. Now I'll publish this. I need to create a pipeline in this data flow activity. Got published. So in this, I have to select the latest one, data flow 8. There are no parameters. Say debug. We'll see what will happen. Still in progress. This is done. We'll go and check our SQL table. Hope it works. Yup. So the old record 1001 Rocky Mail US became false. The three new records have been inserted. 1001 Rocky 1 is there, Mail US. This is true. These two are anyways two new records only. So whatever is expected has been done. So now uh, just play this video and build the pipeline for yourself. It will take some time because it has a longer data flow. It has so many steps, but it is not confusing. I am sure for that. Just watch the video again. Try building this because they're just simple activities only. Not much this involved. So what I want you to do is I just use the input as a very small input, right? So just add new inputs or build a file with say 7 or 8 records with different values. Then give the input to the same pipeline and then see if it's all working or not. If it is not working, we'll find a better solution. I don't think there's a problem. It should work. It will work, but do with different kinds of input values so that we are confident that we are not wrong. Right? Fine, guys. Any doubt in this? If there is no doubt, we'll wrap it here. Meet again on Monday. Monday also, the real-time scenarios and all I have shared that we'll see on Monday. Fine. But since tomorrow is Sunday, I just want you to guys definitely see this video recording again, build this pipeline, send new inputs so that we are sure of what is happening. And if you are stuck somewhere or you have some doubt, please ping me. I'll join. We can clarify on that. Or else Monday in class also we can discuss. Fine, got it. Okay then.
Okay.
Okay, Vilas. Good
Yeah.
night. Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Thank you.
Hi, Sujant. Can you
Bye.
stop the recording? Maybe I want to discuss with you.